This module will introduce the concept of spread. By the end of this module, learners will be able to define spread and its importance, define and explain the components of spread, discuss examples of successful spread, and discuss the process of developing a spread plan. It is important to think about how to spread new concepts you have learned and adopted during your QI project, as well as how to begin to spread QI tools and methods to others in your organization. When we talk about spread related to quality improvement, we mean the act of disseminating improvements across an organization. You have done good work on your QI journey, so you want to make sure you can distribute the principles you're learning and improvements you are making throughout your agency. This may mean sharing improvements with other units or teams within an organization, or it may mean making changes to a process throughout an organization. Spread requires both a top-down and bottom-up approach. Leaders have to build the infrastructure for QI, top-down, and staff have to feel confident and empowered to do QI, bottom-up. The role you can play in spread is to help pass on the tools and concepts you find to be beneficial to staff within your program areas. The purple box will be the focus of this module. How do you spread the tools to others in your organization? One classic work on diffusion, or spread, of new ideas came from Everett, a sociologist who developed the theory of diffusion of innovations, which seeks to explain how, why, and at what rate new ideas and technologies spread through cultures. Rogers studied farmers. What makes farmers pick up newer innovations? If an idea works better, it gets communicated to the target population, your coworkers. And once they've heard the benefits and seen the positive outcome, they make the decision to adopt that idea. Then, over time, the idea is implemented. We'll now focus on the main components of the diffusion of innovations and discuss how you can apply the components. Components of spread consist of better ideas, new ideas, tools, and concepts, social system, target population or those who will most benefit from the change, communication from leadership and staff, and measurement and feedback on the success of spread. Let's discuss each component in detail. A better idea is an innovation or change that has been shown to be successful in a single site within the organization. Think about your project. Are there specific changes that worked well that you want to spread to other programs? What 2 to 3 QI tools would you like to spread to other staff? Rogers recognized certain attributes that make ideas spread quicker. Relative advantage. Is your new idea substantially better than what currently exists? Compatibility. Can we fit the new idea into our existing routines, or does it require us to do new things? The former leads to faster adoption. Simplicity. Is the new idea simple to learn and use? Trialability. How easy is it for people to try out the new idea with little investment in terms of risk, time, and cost? Observability. How easy is it for people to see the results of the innovation? The likelihood of adoption is greater if it is easy to observe the relative advantages of the new idea. Here is one example of a template that you can use to rate each attribute. The more favorably the perceived attributes are rated, the more likely the new idea or innovation will spread. Think about strategies to increase these attributes. Our goal is to make QI tools and concepts spread by showing their value and why they are worthwhile. Sometimes it may not be clear how the attributes of the new tools or concepts are an improvement over current practice. So we have to think about ways to increase the perceived value. To spread, you have to understand your target population and who you should target for spread. The theory that Rogers proposed was that different types of people adopt things in different ways. This graphic shows each type of adopter. Innovators are the first individuals to adopt an innovation or new idea. Innovators are willing to take risks and cope with uncertainty. Early adopters are more integrated into the social system. These are people that others look to when determining if they will try this new idea. Others look to them for advice. The early majority are those who are deliberate about things. They are not leaders in trying something new. They only try something once they've seen that it works. The late majority are skeptical of things. They see adopting the change as more of a necessity than a choice. Peer pressure is necessary. Traditionalists are suspicious of new ideas. They must be 100% certain it won't fail, and it may take a mandate for them to adopt. Think about your target audience. Who are those that are interested and willing to take the risk? Who are your innovators and early adopters that would be interested in doing QI work in your organization? Early adopters often become your spread champions that can bring along the early majority. Remember, early adopters, also known as spread champions, are key to the successful spread of changes, receptive to change and invested in QI, more socially integrated than innovators and are often opinion leaders that can assist with management and staff buy-in, trusted by peers to evaluate changes, and most importantly, are interested in the change. Communication is an essential component for spread. It is important to communicate to the target audience you are spreading to. Your communication goal is to create awareness, which leads to a decision to act. A great rule of thumb for communicating is to communicate 8 different times in 8 different ways. This gives plenty of opportunity for others to fully understand the change or spread you are proposing and why. It also gives plenty of time for the team to process the change, understand it, and ask questions. It is important to make the case for the innovation or QI tool or concept. What is it? Define and show examples. Why is it important? How will it benefit me? Share advantages, data, and success stories. How do I use it and apply it in my daily life? Share case studies, real-life examples, and hands-on application. Here are some ideas on ways to communicate. Through newsletters, both new or existing, on bulletin boards, either shared boards or dedicated QI boards to showcase your work, during staff meetings, at presentations or trainings, on visits to other areas of the organization, through video messages or one-page handouts, during peer-to-peer meetings or conversations, and of course, celebrations. Here is an example of a newsletter featuring QI work and the success a team has accomplished. Notice how they use pictures to show descriptive details of the innovations, as well as the personalization through showcasing project team members. Here is an example of a QI-themed celebration to educate people on QI and what improvements can be made using QI tools. Measurement is a key component of QI. It helps show that your efforts are working. It's important to identify your goals and create measures for each of them. You will also need to collect data and track your progress. Collecting data should be kept simple and can be in either quantitative or qualitative forms. Measurement doesn't have to be cumbersome. Instead, set a goal and use a check sheet to track your progress. This example check sheet tracks what QI tool or concept has been implemented by all staff in a particular program area. It also designates an area to track lessons learned throughout the QI tool spread process. This graph illustrates the diffusion curve and how it takes time for spread to take place. There is a tipping point that usually occurs around the 20% mark when it starts to spread on its own. What makes up 20% of your organization? 20 people? Then 20 people need to be using the improvement tool or concept. Here is an example of a spread checklist. This spread checklist provides more detailed guidance in helping to develop your sustainability plan. You can use the spread checklist to rate the perceived attributes of each new idea or QI tool you want to spread. It also helps you determine how likely the idea will spread and the potential strategies you can use to increase the value. Once you've rated the perceived attributes, developing a spread plan is the next step. This spread plan template helps you develop a detailed plan for how you will spread your QI tool or new change idea. Now let's try it. Think of a current process you can walk through and visually document the flow to identify areas for improvement. Work with your team to document and prioritize your perceived attributes on the spread checklist. Utilize the spread plan to develop the next steps on how you will spread your new ideas. I encourage you to use the provided link below to check out the Quality Improvement Step-by-Step Guide for links to the spread checklist template and example. If you need additional assistance, please contact us at info@improvepartners.org for a consultation. Thanks for listening.